Hello, my name's Miss Martin and I'm the subject lead for psychology here at Knole Academy. Psychology is one of your options for GCSE. First of all, what is psychology? It is the scientific study of human mind and behaviour. If you're interested in pursuing psychology, there's lots of places it can take you. For example, you could become a sports psychologist. Sports psychologists work with athletes and teams to help them get the most out of their performance. Another option is to go into psychiatry. Psychiatrists help people with mental health conditions and they work in the medical field. Other people who also help people with mental health conditions are therapists or counsellors. There's also organisational psychology. These, like sports psychologists, work with individuals and teams to help them achieve their best, but this time in a business setting. Some more jobs that might interest you, if you're into psychology, include neuroscience researchers. These people carry out experiments and research into a variety of different things, mostly focusing on the brain. They do scans and create experiments and they write reports on what they find and get them published. There's also educational psychology. These people can diagnose children with learning support needs and work with children, their teachers and their parents to help them get the most out of education. There's consumer psychology. These people work with marketing and branding and advertising. They try and figure out exactly what it is that makes people tick when making consumer purchases, when they're in the shops deciding what items to buy. And finally, another example for you is forensic psychology. These people work with the criminal justice system and can help profile criminals and help with rehabilitation. These are just 8 examples, but the great thing about psychology is that it's a study of all human behaviour, so anything that a human can do, there's a psychology for. So let's take a look at what the psychology course involves. There are 8 modules, and here I'll talk to you about each of them. The first one is about our memory, and we'll answer questions such as, why do I remember some things better than others? And also, why do people change details when they retell stories? Secondly, we do perception, and we look at concepts such as, what impact does hunger have on how we interpret things? And how do my expectations influence what I see? Next up, we have development. We look at why children can't see things from somebody else's point of view. And we consider when children reach important developmental milestones. The final module we look at in Year 10 is called Social Influence, and we learn what makes people stand by instead of helping others. We ask the question, what would it take for a regular person to kill another human? And we find out why people copy others, even when they know it's wrong. And this takes us into Year 11, where we do our final 3 modules. The first of which is Language, Thought and Communication. We take a look at if animals communicate with each other like humans do, and how culture impacts how we show our emotions. Next up, we take a look at the brain and neuroscience, and we ask what would happen if we put electric shocks directly into someone's brain. And also we find out the answer to why someone would inject themselves with radioactive gold. The final module we look at the end of Year 11 is psychological problems, and we explore what is the best way to treat depression. And we look at how and why people develop addictions. Now there's one module I haven't told you about yet, and that is a very special module. It's called Research Methods, and we study it at the very beginning of the course because it's important to help us understand what we're learning about throughout the rest of the course. We find out how we know if data is reliable or valid. Before that, we have to know what those words even mean. It can help us interpret data and draw graphs and all of that kind of stuff that really links into our math skills. We also learn about what the rules are for carrying out experiments, such as, are we being good moral people? Now, because of the focus on research, seeing as psychology is a scientific study, we have to have good maths and science skills, and that's the reason why this course is available to those of you who are achieving well in maths and science by the end of Year 9. Finally, let me tell you about how your psychology GCSE will be assessed. There are 2 exams that you take at the end of the course. You don't have to do any coursework. They are called Paper 1 and Paper 2, and each of them is worth 50% of your final grade. So Paper 1 contains memory, perception, development and research methods, and Paper 2 covers social influence, it covers language, thought and communication, brain and neuroscience, and psychological problems. Each paper takes 1 hour and 45 minutes to complete. It will include multiple choice questions, short answer questions, and longer answer questions. You'll also be assessed on your knowledge of psychology, your ability to apply that knowledge to different scenarios, and also the skill of evaluating and analysing information. Thank you for taking the time to learn about the Psychology GCSE that we offer here at Knole Academy. Once again, my name is Miss Martin. You can find me in Q1, opposite the language rooms on the top floor of the main building. Feel free to drop in, you can have a little look around the room, you can have a look at the textbooks and children's work, and do feel free to email me if you have any questions.